From this presentation onwards, we are starting with a new chapter called linked list, and in this particular presentation, I will introduce what a linked list is all about and how it looks like. So let's get started. Let's say our target is to arrange the name of the students according to the first letter of their names. This is our target. We need to arrange the name of the students. These are the names available with us. We need to arrange them in sequential order, that too according to the first letter of their names. And this is how the order looks like, right? Of course, the first name must be Alpha. Then we have John, then Mark, Michael, Rock, Smith, Tony. These are the names arranged in a sequential order according to the first letter of their names. Now my question is how to maintain this list in a memory, that is the actual memory. In order to maintain a list in a memory, there are basically two ways available with us. The first one is of course by using array data structure. The other one is using linked list data structure. By using these two ways, we can maintain a list in a memory. These are basically the data structures. We have already dealt with array data structure. Now in this presentation and in the subsequent presentation, we will deal with how to maintain a list using linked list. Arrays have some limitations and disadvantages, and there is no doubt about it. This is very sad. But we will see how linked list overcomes the limitations and disadvantages of arrays. We will see what are the disadvantages and limitations of arrays, and we will see how linked list overcome those limitations and disadvantages in the subsequent lectures. But for now, we will see what are the different types of linked lists we are available with. The first one is of course single linked list. This is the basic type and the first type of linked list. Basically in single linked list, navigation is forward only. That means we can go in forward direction and we can't go backwards. So navigation is forward only. This is the way we can identify a linked list as a single linked list. When the navigation is forward only, then it is called as a single linked list. But when the navigation is forward and backward, then it is called a doubly linked list. So here in the doubly linked list, forward and backward navigation is possible. We have another type called circular linked list. Here the last element is linked to the first element. As the name itself suggests that this is a circular linked list. So definitely the last element must be linked to the first element. Now, we will discuss what is a single linked list. A single linked list is a list made up of nodes that consists of two parts. Basically, a single linked list is a list made up of nodes. Now, what is a node by the way? This is how a node looks like. This node contains two parts. The one is data and the other one is link. Data part contains the actual data and link part contains the address of the next node of the list. If you ask me how a linked list is made, I will simply give you this answer that a linked list is made up of nodes. Now, we will see how to represent a single linked list. Suppose we want to store a list of numbers. These are the list of numbers we are available with: 23, 54, 78 and 90. For this purpose, I need to create 4 different nodes. Because we have 4 different numbers to store, we need to create a list of 4 different nodes. The first node contains the data 23, the second node contains the data 54, third node contains the data 78, and fourth node contains the data 90. Now, I would like to tell you that these nodes need not be stored in sequential order in memory. This should be well noted. For the simplicity's sake, I have taken these addresses. The first node address is 1000, second node address is 2000, third node address is 3000, and fourth node address is 4000. And you can see the addresses need not be sequential. This is not an array, this is a linked list. Now of course there is something missing out here. This list is incomplete. Obviously the list has not been created up to now because there is some way to reach the next node of the list, and in order to do that, we will store the addresses in the link part of each and every node. How it looks like? Let's see. These are the addresses which we will store in the link part. You can see that the first node contains this address, that is 2000, which is the address of the second node of the list. Isn't that so? From the first node, I can easily reach the next node if I have this address. That is why I have stored this address over here. From the second node, I can easily reach the third node because the address stored here is 3000, which is the address of the third node of the list. And third node contains the address 4000, which is the address of the last node of the list. And last node contains null, which means it is not containing any address. It will simply not point to anything, and it indicates that this is the last node, right? So basically, with the help of link part of the node, we can reach the next node of the list. I'm representing the link between these nodes using these arrows. But you may ask this question that how to access the first node of the linked list. If we have the address of the first node, we can reach the rest of the nodes, right? But how to access the first node of the linked list? In order to access the first node of the linked list, we need a pointer. With the help of pointer, we can access the first node of the list if it contains the address of the first node. I am naming this pointer as head, and in the rest of the lectures we will also see that the name of this pointer will remain head because it is the pointer to the first node of the list. By using this pointer, we can access the first node of the list, and from the first node we can access the second node and so on. So basically this whole list is now accessible. As this pointer contains the address 1000, so I am using this arrow which represents that this pointer contains the address of the first node. After seeing how a single linked list looks like, we'll see how to create a single linked list programmatically and how to perform different operations in single linked list and other linked lists in the same way as we do in the case of arrays. Okay friends, this is it for now. Thank you for watching this presentation.